in Matthew, he just goes right into the next part of what he's saying. And again, I say to you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. In Mark, his disciples say something first, and the disciples were astonished at his sayings. But Jesus answered again and says to them, Children, how hardly is it for them that trust in riches to enter into the kingdom of God? That's actually an exact repeat for what he said earlier. Trust in riches. Okay, so in Mark earlier, verse 23, he's saying that have riches. Then he's explaining why. For them that trust in riches to enter the kingdom of God. Then he goes into, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. So Mark has way more explanation. Luke, he just goes right into it like Matthew. For it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Okay, so Mark is the only one with added stuff here. I think I can continue with that, since that'll be very simple to explain where it comes from. And the disciples were astonished. All this is just Mark. And the disciples were astonished at his words, but Jesus answered again and says to them, Children, how hard is it for them that trust in riches to enter into the kingdom of God? Okay, so this is the explanation that, to be perfectly honest, I don't ever remember reading or hearing before. People focus on the first statement, which makes sense because it's in Matthew and Luke. How hardly shall they that have riches, just being rich, that's a problem. You're probably not going to get into heaven. But now in Mark, it actually has the explanation. If not just you have it, but that's where your trust lies. And again, I've really struggled with this because there have been plenty of super rich believers in God in the Bible. Abraham was extremely rich. Isaac, Jacob, all of them had lots and lots of possessions. They would have been millionaires today. Job, he could have been a billionaire today. I think in the New Testament there's also in Acts a very short mention of this one woman. Her name was Lydia. She's a seller of purple. And that doesn't seem to be much to our understanding nowadays, but to get the purple dye is apparently super difficult. It comes from like snails, I believe, like snail shells from this one place in the Mediterranean, and it takes a whole lot of work and gathering, and to be a seller of it means that you are very, very rich. So before and after Jesus came and spoke, riches and money is not evil. It's even what Jesus said, the love of money is the root of all evil, or all kinds of evil. Yes, the love of money. Anything can be abused. Money's not evil. The way that you use it could be evil. If your trust is in it, money, or your ability to earn money yourself then, and not God, that's a problem. So I'm glad that this explanation is here, because this makes it much more clear to me. If you trust in riches, obviously it's going to be difficult for you to enter into heaven, because the only way to get into heaven is if your trust is in Jesus. So that's that. Matthew 19:24. And again, I say to you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Mark 10:25. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. So Matthew has, and again I say to you, as an introduction, it is easier. Mark just goes right into it is easier. Luke, for it is easier. Alright, well, I guess I'll just have to begin with Matthew because he has that introductory statement. I am going to leave off 4 because in Luke he skips off the interaction of the disciples being shocked and Jesus says it's trust, that's the issue. So it's like he's just giving an explanation of how difficult. But it doesn't quite make sense after Jesus gave this explanation. It's better to just have the new introduction from Matthew. And again, I say to you. So I'm going to leave off 4. I don't think it'll fit. It is easier for a camel. It's all 3. To go through is all 3. Matthew and Mark are the same. The eye of a needle. Luke, a needle's eye. So I'm just going to go with the majority witness. I, a, and needle is all 3. I know it's plural in Luke, but I'll just leave off the S. A needle's eye. Then for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. Alright, they're all the same. Man to enter into the kingdom of God.